Hey there guys, it's Rick USA here with AirgunWeb and AirgunWeb TV, and today we're going to talk about a gun from UmarexUSA that frankly has blown me away. So let's get into it. This is the Umarex Air Saber. This just surprised me, full stop. I was not expecting to have this much fun with an arrow shooting air gun, but Umarex did a great job, and I want to kind of walk you guys through what we have here. So first of all, let's talk about price point. This is a $400 package. That's MSRP. You could probably find it a little bit less, street price here and there, but it's 400 bucks. And what do you get for 400 bucks? Well, you get a really nice arrow shooting air gun. Now this is my bipod, all right, but it comes with the rail, so you can put whatever accessories you like on it. Comes with 3 arrows, comes with the scope. They have 2 versions, one with the scope, one without the scope. I'm gonna tell you why you probably want the scope. We'll get to that here a little bit later. A really nice thumbhole stock, ambidextrous, of course. The gun really feels solid. I mean, when you pick it up, you know you're not picking up something that's less than. This thing feels like a really nice air gun, and it is a really nice air gun. Now, you also get the 3 arrows, if I haven't already mentioned that, and basically, you're ready to rock and roll. Now, this is a PCP, so you're gonna have to fill it up, and there's different ways to do that. Personally, I'm gonna opt for a personal compressor on a rig like this, and I'll tell you why. You can fill this to a 250 bar, that's like 36 and some change PSI. So if you have a tank that's 4,500, you're gonna fill this maybe a couple times, and then you're not gonna be able to get the full pressure again. So my thing is just skip the tank, go with a personal compressor. That way you get the full fill every single time. And to me, I think that's worth it. The personal compressors are getting more and more affordable. Umarex has one coming out very, very shortly. I can't wait till that kind of hits the store shelves. That's gonna be a wonderful package for all of their PCP guns to have that little ready air compressor. It's not out yet, but it will be soon, and I cannot wait for that to be an option, because that would be just like the perfect setup. So let's talk a little bit about performance. So from a full fill, I'm guessing you're gonna get about 9 to 12 shots. What I was getting out of this today, every shot was dropping about 200 PSI, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less, depending on where you are on the shot curve. It's not regulated, so there is gonna be a shot curve. So at a full fill, like all the way full, my first shot was 483 feet per second. Now with a 300 grain arrow, that's the arrow's 250, the field tip is 100. So you're looking at 181 foot-pounds. Now, just foot-pounds in a big bore, that's not a lot, but you put a broadhead on this, and now you have probably, and I said this at SHOT Show, you probably have the most lethality per dollar that you can get in any air gun. Because this thing drives these things with great accuracy, it just delivers a lot of energy, a lot of performance at a very, very reasonable price point. I think that is awesome. Now, the second shot actually came up a little bit. It was a 491, and that was 187 foot-pounds and some change. That is really driving. So you put a nasty broadhead on this, and there's really nothing you probably can't take down with this. I mean, even a buffalo. If you had the tag and you had that opportunity with the broadhead in the right conditions, yeah, you could take that with this gun. To me, that blows my mind. Now, the third shot is where we're gonna start seeing the power sort of drop, and that went down to 440. And so you're still over 400 feet per second, way over 400 feet per second after shot 3. And as a hunting gun, you know, you're really gonna, that first shot, maybe the second shot, those are your most critical, and right there, we were just right on it. So there was very little change between the first shot and the second shot. So if you needed a really accurate second shot, you're gonna have it. Now, let's talk about the scope and why I was really impressed with what they kind of gave you with this. They thought about this. I mean, they really put energy and time into putting this package together, so you don't need anything else. You need a compressor or a hand pump or something, or a bottle to fill it. But other than that, you're ready to go to the field and start taking game. This scope has, you know, your hash marks in it, and I would say you really want to get into the manuals on this thing so that you know what you're doing. But here in the manual, it tells you exactly what each reticle mark will give you. So you're going to zero this at 25 yards. That's going to be good from 25 to 40 yards. The second line is going to be good from like 35 to 60. And the third line is going to be like 60 to 70. And then you've got the fourth line or the fourth mark there, which is going to be, you know, 70 yards and out. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of a caveat in here. Really, you're going to want to keep all of your shots, if you're hunting, just like you would if you were hunting with a bow. Just because you can be very accurate at 50 plus yards with this, the flight time of the arrow is going to be way too long for the animal. The animal's going to have way too much opportunity to jump the shot. And because this has a bit of a rapport, it's not like a super quiet bow or a crossbow. This has got a little bit of a bark to it, so that, that flight time becomes that much more critical. So keep your shots between 25, maybe 40 yards. I think you're going to see some real success, like hogs, deer, whatever, if it comes across your field of view in that range, you're going to be able to drive an arrow right to it and take some meat home and put on the table. The Umarex Air Saber, for me, it's awesome. I love shooting this thing. Now, from a target shooting perspective, it's still awesome, and I'll tell you why. Because you just reuse your arrows. So I like hunting. I have nothing against it. I enjoy doing it. I just don't have the time, but I still love to shoot basically anything. If it sends something downrange, I don't care what it is, I like to shoot it. And this gives me the opportunity to sit down, shoot, and if I want to shoot again, I just go grab my arrows, put them back in, and away I go. I can reuse my arrows over and over and over. I love that. So even in the backyard, this thing is very, very fun. If you are shooting in kind of that environment, do make sure you have a proper backstop. We're using some really heavy duty arrow bags. They're meant for, very high powered crossbows. So you gotta have something that's gonna stop these, because these are moving at well over 400, almost 500 feet per second. And I would not use hay bales. You probably pass through. You wanna have something that's designed to stop these arrows going that speed. And never shoot those with broadheads. It'll go through them like butter. So save your broadheads for hunting in the field. Don't try and practice shooting with those, because you're just never gonna find your arrow. Ask me how I know that. So make sure that you are using your field points on a proper backstop. Get a matching weight broadhead for when you want to go hunting, and then you've got really an awesome hunting arrow gun here. So anything you're going to take out hunting, it's got to be accurate. And this thing definitely delivers on the accuracy part. In fact, you have to be really careful when you're just out target shooting, because you take your first shot, and if you use the same exact aim point, you're very likely to come very close to driving your second shot right in the rear end of your first shot. You don't want to do that. The arrows are expensive, so you don't want to bust them. So what you got to do is actually pick different aim points. And so that's why I'm using a target with like little billiard balls on it, so that I have some different aim points to go by. This thing is very, very accurate, and it's repeatably accurate, which is also very awesome. Now, your first shot's what really matters, and this thing, if you're full fill, you get consistent with how you know it's going to operate, you're going to be able to drive that first shot right where you need it every single time. Guys, that's it for now. My name's Rick Utzler. Thanks for watching.